Now in session 14, we are going to see how we are going to manage users and groups. Now here, we will see how we can add, create and modify the default entities of users and groups. Now for completing with this particular practical, we are going to start with our virtual machine. Then virtual machine will start with creating users and groups by using your root login. As we know, the limited user or the standard users won't be able to create and manage groups. So the practical or any particular group and user creation should always be done by your root. So I'm switching from test to root. So I've logged in through root now. So I'm going to create the user by command user add space and username. So here I'll create a user with name user1. So user add space user1. Now it has been created. I'll just try to get login with this particular user by switching the user in my graphical console. So I'm going to switch the user. By switching the user, now by default I won't be prompted for the username. So I need to click on not listed users and then I will be able to get login to enter my username. So I have not created not listed. So I am defining my username. Next, now it is asking me the password where we don't have any particular password now. So I have just hit enter because I have not assigned any password to my user. So enter. So if I give enter, it's showing me authentication failure. Means I am not able to get login. Even though if I use my username, I won't be able to get login because by default, the user which we create, it automatically get a password if you have created using your command line console and we have not assigned the password through root. So here we need to reset the password and the password will be unknown for us because the Linux by itself provides its password. So I'll get login with a test and then we can reset the password using your root. Very first thing, I'll get login with my test. So I'm getting login through test. Once I get login, I'll be in my terminal. Again, I will just see the default file for the password. So whether we have set any password for user1 or user1 has set any password, so we can move into a password file that is vi/etc/shadow. The /shadow file contain all the encrypted password for all the users. So we will start with our file vi/etc/shadow. /shadow. So I can enter. You can see all the username along with the details of the user. So it contains username, its user ID, group ID, its home directory and its bash directory, bash file. These are the details of the user, but generally here you can see only the passwords for this particular users. The root has encrypted password, the test has encrypted password. We have not assigned any password for the user, so user1 don't have any password list encrypted in over here, but we don't know about the password, so we need to reset the password here. So for that, I'll just move out of this file. Now I'll switch the user and we'll check whether we have updated with the new password or not. So I'm getting login through my user 1. Password I have assigned, that is red hat. I'll just give the command red hat and enter. It's logged in. Now once you get logged in with any new user, so very first time it will confirm the language with you, the keyboard language and the user language. So we are going to create a user here, or you can check in our home directory. What we discussed earlier, whenever you create, this is the language settings it asks you for. Okay, it's done now. Okay, so it's only the first time when you asked. Now in home directory you can see all the documents or the download file we generally get with the other home directories as well. Now we are going to move in home directory and we'll check which are the user available over here. So for that I'll be moving in my home, only /home. So for moving into it, we will move or change the location. So to change the location, we'll move into files, enter location, /home, and you can check there are 2 users, user 1 and I have the user 1. I will be able to access it, but for test, I won't be able to get access to the standard user because the limited right user won't be able to see the data of other users. Same way, we can also not be able to see any particular data just stored by root as well. So the limited user will be able to access only its home directory, not any other user's home directory. Just we can check it by just moving into the location. In files, we can move, enter location. In enter location, we will just go for /. Now you can see the root here. Again, there is a cross mark for root as well. So we will only be able to access other superior user rights or superior user data from the limited right user, unless the sudo is given to a sudo command or special type of permission is given to the particular user. So whenever you create a user, the user gets his home password, own home directory. Next, what we get, that we are going to see. So when you create a user, all the entry of the users move under the file vi/etc/passwd. So if you move into this file, it will show you the usernames, the list of usernames, its user ID, its group ID, the home directory and the shell from where he is going to log in. So you can see the group ID. That means there is some group associated with this group, right? So when you create a user, automatically a user's group, that is also called as the owner group, get created in the group directory. Just we can have a look on this group directory as well. So here the user 1 is also having a group with group ID 1001. The user ID is again 1001. You can see the groups where it is stored. So you can see in etc group, you can check whenever the user is created, the group is automatically created with the same username. And I can check at last, user 1 is been created. So test is again there because even we have test name user. So whenever you create a user, you get the password, you get your home directory created. Next, you get your group, which is also called as owner groups. This is how we can create the user. This is how we can see the user's password and group files. Now we are going to create a group here. So for adding a group, we will give command group add space whatever the group name you want. It's showing me permission denied because I have logged in through my test or user 1. So I'll just switch out of user 1, back to root. The hash prompt appeared. Now I'll give command group add. and then group name. Now here the group name, what I'm going to use is your Linux. And I can check it in vi/etc/groups.